Hello friends, welcome to TechMy, my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to see what is NumPy. I will explain you each and every topics in NumPy very clearly with examples. So please watch the full video. Let's get into the video. NumPy is a third-party package. Okay, in the previous video, I have explained what is package, what is library, what is module. The library is a term that we use to refer a package or module. Okay, so it's a third-party package, which means when you go to official python.org website, you will not be able to find NumPy package over there. If you download that software, also official Python software. Okay, so currently I'm using Anaconda software. There only I'm using Jupyter Notebook. So in Anaconda software, there are so many pre-built libraries are available. NumPy is also one of the library which is available in Anaconda. That is the reason I am able to import it very easily without installing it separately. Okay, see, import NumPy as NP. Okay, NumPy is a library for Python programming language, adding a support for large or multi-dimensional array and matrices. So I believe that you know what is array and what is matrices. Arrays you might have seen like this: 1, 2, 3, like rows and columns, right? So if you know any other programming languages like Java and all, you might have known, or else during your school times you might have studied how to deal with arrays. So in Python, to deal with arrays, we use NumPy, and matrices also similar. Here we can use n number of high-level mathematical functions within this arrays. Okay, this is the purpose of using NumPy. The third-party package, we can deal with multi-dimensional arrays and matrices in Python. Okay, so to use NumPy, you have to import. So that is the reason I'm using import NumPy as NP. This is my alias name. Whatever I want, I can give. You also can give whatever. For shortcut referring, I'm using NP. NumPy as NP. Here you can see I'm giving a single dimensional array. This is actually single dimensional array. Why? Because I'm passing just one value. If I'm passing list of values, then it differs. I'm just passing one particular list. ARR is a reference name I'm using. NP.array. This is very mandatory. Whenever you're passing a value like this, you have to use NP.array. Okay, and array of a list 12, 3, 4. If you check type of array, it will be NumPy.nd array. Especially NumPy, the other term which we refer NumPy is nd array. Okay, so this is the data type. So this is NumPy, right? Here it is proving. And second, this one is two-dimensional array. I'm giving list. It's not one list of, multiple list I'm giving. Two lists I have given here. Okay, so ARR1 equal to NP.array 1, 2 and 3, 4. Okay, one row, two rows and two columns. Right, so this is what two-dimensional array. Two rows will be there, two columns will be there. It doesn't mean that 1, 2 and 3, 4 is a two-dimensional array. If you are giving 3 dimension, then it will be 1, 2, 3, and then this is one list value, and again 4, 5, 6 another list value, and then 7, 8, 9 third list value. So this is what called as 3-dimensional array, or this even 2-dimensional array also we can say multi-dimensional array. Okay, so this is how we can perform. See, if I run this, you can see the output here. Right, check type of array 1, it is NumPy nd.array, and you can check the shape of the array. ARR is the name that I referred for single dimensional array, right? You can see ARR dot shape equal to, see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here 2 rows and 2 columns, right? So 4 rows will be there, 0 columns. That is the reason it is empty. Here 2 rows and 2 columns will be there for ARR1. So it is 2, 2, right? This is how you can check. If you wanted to check the dimension, what you have to do, see, I have to, okay, here I will show you how to check the dimension. ARR.ndim. See, to check the dimension, you have to use ndim. So it's a one-dimensional array. If I check for ARR1, okay, wait a minute, ARR1.ndim, it's a two-dimensional array, right? So this is how you can perform. This is very basics. I have explained what is array, what is one-dimensional array, what is two-dimensional array, how to check the dimension of an array. That's all we have seen in this topic. Okay, so moving forward, list versus array. What is the difference between list and array? So here I'm taking an array. So I just copy pasted the same code which I have in the previous line. So ARR equal to np.array 12, 3, 4, 5. So if you run this, this is the output array of 12, 3, 4, 5. Okay. If we multiply a list with a number, then it repeats the list. This topic you know, right? I have a list a equal to 1 2 3. If you multiply with 2 or any number, if you are using 3, so the list will be doubled. It won't multiply. 2 will not be multiplied with 2 into 1, 2 into 2, 2 into 3. This won't happen with list. If you want, you can check out. So a into 2 is 1 2 3, and then again 1 2 3. It just multiplies the list. I mean, it's getting doubled. Okay, extended, getting extended, we can say. Okay, a dot extend b or a dot extend 2, right? So this is getting extended. But if you multiply an array with any value, these values are getting multiplied. I'm taking array 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. If I do 8 asterisk 2, then 1 into 2 is 2, 2 into 2 is 4, 3 into 2 is 6, see 2 4 6 8 10 11 10 12 and 14, right? So this is one difference between list and array. Multiplication differs. Okay, so element by element operations in NumPy, you can do element by element operations in NumPy, which is not possible in list. I'm taking two different list, I'm taking two different array. Listen carefully. A equal to 1 2 3, b equal to 4 5 6, ARR equal to 4 3 2, ARR 1 equal to again 4 3 2. Two different array I have taken, two different lists I have taken. If I do a plus b, see, it's getting extended again. How you have seen in multiplication, such a way it is getting extended 1 2 3 4 5 6. But if you add two different arrays, okay, see, array of 8 6 4. So we can add this to a plus b. So this is the output. ARR1, ARRC. A and B I have taken separately, that I have shown separately. I am telling you about ARR1 and ARR. You can see ARR value here. Wait, let me print here. Okay. This one 432 plus 432. 4 plus 4 is 8. 3 plus 3 is 6. 2 plus 2 is 4. So 8, 6 and 4. This is the output if you add an array. Okay. List values are separated by comma. Whenever you see a list, the values will be like 1, 2, 3. A is a list, right? 1, 2, 3. Values are separated by comma. But if you print an array, there won't be any commas in between the elements which is present. Okay. See, this is ARR1. This is the A value. Okay. So this is the other difference. This is how list will be differed from array. Okay. So normally when you wanted to check a range, you use range function, right? Range of 10. So I wanted to get this in list, so I'm using list of range of 10. It will be 0 to 9. When it comes to array, you have to use np. NumPy I'm referring as np dot arrange of 10. Same concept here. Np dot arrange of 10 will give you the same values within an array format. Array of 0 to 9. Okay. You can use step as well. So list of range of 1, 10, and when you give 3, it will be first value, and then see, it will be 0 1 2 3 4 5, right? So first, third, fifth and seventh value will be counted. Anyhow, the last value is 10, so that we cannot add here. Okay, that is the reason it is 1 4 7. So same concept if you use using np NumPy and arrange 1, 20 and then 3. See, this is the output. Same output you will be getting in the format of array. You can use steps here. This is another example. And here you can see another important topic, array of zeros. So I'm not sure whether you know about this concept. I mean that this is not available anywhere else. Array of 0 means a equal to np dot zeros you have to use. Zeros of 4, which means single dimensional array with zeros. Welcome. Because I'm passing only row. I'm not passing any values for column. It will be rows and columns, right? So if I pass 4, it will be 0 0 0, and you can see why there is a dot. So this will be considered as a float value. Okay, that is the reason dot is available, right? So array of 0, and here you can see if I print a, see 0 dot 0 dot 0, this is my zeros of 4 result. And if I give 2, 3, 2 rows and 3 columns, see, first row, second row, column 1, column 2, column 3, only with zeros. If I print a1, this is the output, right? So this is how you can work with zeros function. Okay, and data type. So this point, whenever you are creating a array, you can decide which data type it should be. You can give the data type. So how to give the data type, that also I will explain you moving forward. So if you wanted to check the data type, I have array named a, right? So if you check a dot d type, see, this is a value. This is a dot d type. If you give, it's float 64. Okay, so 64 bytes. See. So NDIM I have already shown how to check the dimension, and then how to define a data type of an array. So here I am giving you example how manually we can define the data type. So I'm taking array np of array, one list 1 2 3 I'm giving d type equal to np.float 16. So you can give float 16, 8, 64 based on your memory space. When you know I'm going to use only this range, so there is no need of 64 bytes. When you know to avoid the additional memory is being occupied, you can give the limitation. So I'm giving only float 16 when you know because it will be zeros, right? 0 0 0 like such a way. So you take 2 power, it will be 64 dimensions will be available. So to avoid that, when you know the range, you can, when you know the memory space how much it is going to occupy, you can give based on that. I'm giving float 16. Okay, so if you check the type, data type, see float 16 what I'm giving. It's not only for float, you can give it for integer also. Integer 8, 16, 32. In integer it will be up to 32. Right, so you can declare the data type value as well. The future type of ARR, it will be numpy.ndarray. Okay, usually it takes 64-bit, but since there is no use, we can reduce as per our need. That's what I told you just now. Okay, so I'm just giving normal. When you give float, it will consider as a float 64 by default for the same array value which I'm passing. Yeah, I'm giving int 16. So array.d type, it will be int 16. Okay, so line space, I mean this we call it as linearly spaced array. So len space means start index will be there. This is the format: start and then end, and number of elements which has common difference. Okay, if I'm giving 1 to 50 and 5, so it will find out 5 values which has a common difference within 50, and the last element value also will be added as 50. In the normally when you take a range, the last index value you cannot find it inside the output, but here you will get it. So you can see how the logic works. Means I'm giving 1, 50, 5 in len space, LINSPACE. So it does arithmetic progression, which means the difference between 1 to 13.25 is how much? 12.25, correct? And the difference between 13.25 to 25.25 is 12.25, and difference between 25.5 to 37.75, 12.25, and 37.75 to minus 50, it will be 12.25. So this will find you the 5 common differences between the range what you're mentioning within len space. This is the purpose of using len space, okay, which is linearly spaced array. And reshaping the array. So example, I have a single dimensional array. I wanted to change this into 2-dimensional array, and then I have 2D array. I want to change this into 3D array. Okay, so let me hide these lines so that you can understand easily, and I can unpack this. If I run this, np zeros of 8, see, print a. So as I told you, it will consider it will be rows and columns. So one row with 8 columns. I mean, one row means we have not mentioned 1 or 2 or so. This is how single dimensional array should look like, right? So if I'm giving, see, I have a single dimensional array right now. So what is the possibility how we can convert this into a 2-dimensional array? If you are well versed with array, at this point you know we can convert this into 4 into 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. So you will get the same. Okay, 2 rows, 4 columns. You can convert like this. So what you have to do, you have to use reshape. Reshape is the function which will help us to convert a single dimensional array to multi-dimensional array. So here I have shown you an example. I have converted single dimensional array, which is 8, into 2-dimensional array in the form of 2 into 4, which means 2 rows, 4 columns. That is the output we have got here: 0 0 0 0 and 0 0 0 0. Okay, so this is how you can convert. And here I have given one more example. So this value I am taking in A2. What I have converted right now, I am taking in A2. I am converting this into 3-dimensional array. So how you can take 8 into 3D, 3 dimension, 2 rows, 2 2 2. Okay, see. If you see, normally it will be 4 rows and 2 columns. That's how we can see this. But it won't be a same array. So you will be having, wait, let me hide these lines. Do you think if I hide this lines you will get output? Yes. See, this is what? Three-dimensional array. Okay. So that's all how to reshape an array. You have to use a reshape function to change from 1D to 2D to 3D. I have shown you the example. Okay. And then same thing, we can convert a multi-dimensional array into single dimensional array using RAVEL, Ravel method. RAVEL. Okay, you might get this question in interview. So to reshape, you have to use reshape function. To convert multi-dimensional array to single dimension, you have to use Ravel. So I'm taking a array A2. This is what the last A2 value, right? Which is a multi-dimensional array which I have. I wanted to convert this into single dimension. Then A2.Ravel. That's all. It converts back into one-dimensional array. See, I got the initial value which I have passed. This is what I have passed initially, right? A of 0 of 8 I have given. So I got the same output finally. So Ravel is a function which is used to convert the multi-dimensional array to single dimensional. So next concept in NumPy is indexing and slicing, which is similar to list how you do indexing and slicing. Same thing, I have array. So I told you how to create an array. So okay, if I take ARR of 0, so which is 0th index, it will be 1. So 0th index value will be 1, it will be printed. And same thing, ARR of negative indexing, -1 if you give, last value will be printed. And slicing, same thing, take 1 and 4, so 1:4, which means 2, 3, 4 will be printed. 4th index will be 5, 0th index will be 1. Okay, so this is all similar, you can practice it. And then this is in one-dimensional array I have shown. When you have a two-dimensional array, how you can do slicing? Okay, so here I have taken a two-dimensional array. Okay, so this is a two-dimensional array. I wanted to do slicing here. Okay, 4 rows and 4 columns is what I have. So ARR of 1:3, 1:3. So this is for rows and this is for column. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, so this is the output. How this is taking the output. Okay, so 1:3, 0, 1, 2, 3. And the same time when it comes to row, 0, 1, 2, 3. So 1 means first row. Okay, this one. Sorry, just a minute. Let me erase this. Okay, so you know the indexing concept. First row means this one. This is the first row. I mean, as per the index, first index. Okay, here this is the first index. So when you highlight this complete row you take, and this is this complete column, as well as second also will be considered. This one also will be considered. Okay, so if you see the common values in this, 3 and 4, 5 and 4. See, this is the response. So this is how indexing and slicing concepts will work in. This is slicing, not indexing, in two-dimensional array. Okay, you're getting my point. 0th index, first index, second, third. Same thing coming to column 0, 1, 2, 3. So you see 1 and 3. Anyhow, third index will not be counted, right? Stopping index will not be counted. So which means 1 and 2. First index, second index, take the complete row. First index, second index, take the complete column as well. So what is the common values? 3 and 4, 5 and 4 are the common values. See, this is the output. Okay, this is how you can do slicing in two-dimensional array. So accessing rows. How to access rows? I have a two-dimensional array. I want to access only particular row. Okay, this is an example that I have created using A of 0. Okay, but let's take a normal array only. So okay, so how to access one particular row? Yeah, here I have given. So before that, see, to access rows, you have a array. Okay, here whenever you give the value, you have to give the row and column value, right? But I'm giving only the row value. Getting my point? Row, it should be like this. Column value, anyhow, if you give this also, here start index is there, stop index is there, but here no start index, no stop index. Okay, see, this 2 rows got printed here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3. First one and third one got skipped. I mean, 0th one and third one got skipped. In columns, we have not given anything. So that is this is how you can access only rows. Coming to columns, this thing is mandatory. If you don't give colon, comma, it will give you an error message. So that is the reason colon, because no start index, no stop index. So that won't consider. But you have to give that. I mean, machine can understand there is no start index, there is no stop index. Then you have to give 1:3. Okay. So this is the output. I mean, 1 minute. Yeah, this is the output in this array. Okay. So when you give both, this output we have seen earlier itself. And then next thing, using steps, if the stop value is beyond the limit, then it won't throw any error. Okay, so I am taking the same array, I just copy pasted here. I am giving start index as 1, stop index I am giving 1 0 0 0 0 0, but I know, right, maximum this is the limit I can give. It's 4 rows and 4 columns, maximum I can give 3. Anyhow, third index is the last one, but I'm giving 10 plus, okay, 1 lakh plus whatever the value you are passing, and I'm giving step by 2. So when I'm mentioning like this in stop index, it has to throw error, right? But in array, especially in NumPy, it won't throw any error. It will count the maximum available rows, but it won't throw any error. Okay, see, 1 colon, this value I have given, step is 2. So it will print only first and third row. This is my array 0 1 2 3, so which means 2 3 4 5 8 7 6 5. You can see the same output here, 2 3 4 5 8 7 6 5, step by 2. Okay, and the next concept is array attributes. So I have just copy pasted the same array. This is my array what I have. So anyhow, dimension how to check, that I already shown. Shape how to check, that also I have already shown. It's 4 into 4. So you can check item size. Okay, so how many bytes for each element of array? I mean, normally one bit is 8 bytes, right? So you can use item size function, so that you can check the item size. And data type also I have shown which data type it is. So this one 4 into 4 is integer 32. This is the data type. Okay, so this one is empty array. Empty array, no worry, you are gonna use, but just for your knowledge purpose I'm sharing this. Empty array means what you can do, it will randomly generate array with junk elements. Okay, see, this all are junk elements. No worry, you are gonna use this. So np.empty 3, 4 if you give, it will give you a random array list with 3 rows and 4 columns. Okay, so this is what that random array, 3 rows and 4 columns. Okay, and then reading and writing an array from file. This is very important, listen carefully. So this is I mean for you can create a file by yourself. For understanding, I have created like this. See, my$.txt is a file which I have created. Okay, my$.txt using w plus mode I have created. So look at here, to access the values from a particular file, what you have to use load.txt. Load.txt is a function which will help you to access data from a file, and that will convert it into array format. Okay, if you look at this file, see, everything will be separated with the dollar symbol, delimiter. Dollar symbol is called as delimiter. Okay, I mean normally any symbol you can use, commonly it is referred as delimiter. So see, $1, $2, $3. So I want to get only the arrays, I mean numbers, not the dollar symbol. Okay, so for that, arr equal to np.load.txt. my$.txt is the file name what I have, and delimiter is dollar, because dollar is what being used. Even you can use hash also. If you run this, it will load only the numbers. See, you're getting only the numbers out of this file. Okay, this is how you can access from a file which is already written by someone. Okay, and again I'm creating one more file named as numpy-data.txt. So in the previous video I have shown how to create, so I don't want to spend much time on that. You can go here, and numpy-data.txt is the another file which I have created. So this file already consists of an array. This file already having an array. Okay, so in this situation what you can do, see, already have array, but you have a space, right? If you are having a file, it should be without space, like this is array format anyhow, you know, but you already have a space, right? So what you can do, arr equal to np.loadText, you are just giving numpy-data.txt. you're not giving the delimiter. Anyhow, space also will be considered, but you're not giving delimiter. When it comes to space, you no need to mention the delimiter, but if you are using any other element, then you have to mention the delimiter. If you run this, see, file will be shown here as an output in the array format. If you wanted to check what and all the functions available in load text, you can give $np.loadText. You can see with the examples. You can skip rows, you can use columns, only columns, and delimiter, it can be string or optional, whatever you wanted to get, and unpack, ndim, so I mean to check the data type. Here ndim, integer and optional, encoding, maximum rows, this is all you can try. Okay, so how to skip rows? Now I have told you how to check using np.loadTxt. So how to skip rows? I'm using one function. So my file name numpy-data.txt. So I'm giving skip rows equal to 2, which means it will skip the first 2 rows, 0th index and first index, and then it will print only second and third index. See, this is the output 98. So you can see this here. Okay, so how to get only columns? In this case, you have to use the function use cols, use cols equal to 1 comma 2, which means it will print only first index column and second index column. So which means if you look at this, it will be this 2 in 2 3 8 2 3 5 7 3. See, 2 3 8 2 3 5 7 3. Okay, so we can use multiple functions in the same column, like skip rows and use calls. Everything you can use in the same line of code itself. Okay, so how to export an array to file format? You have an array, you have to save that into your file, you have to write that into your file. Okay, so this is my array what I have right now. So here, okay, so this is my array what I have right now in my window. I wanted to save all these values in my file. I have to create a file and I have to save. For that, what you have to do, you have to use save txt, numpy.save txt, okay, and array file. This is the random file name I'm giving, whatever you want you can give, array file.txt, comma, I'm referring to the array format what I have, arr. If you run this, okay, if you run this is my array file. Refresh. See, this is the output you are getting, 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. Why? Because I will tell you how to get the normal values. Because if you check the data type, see, it is integer 32. Okay, wait. So data type is integer 32. How to get the original values? Anyhow, you have written, now file is created in your folder and you're getting the values also inside of it, but not in the expected format. Okay, so to get the only the numbers, you know, in the previous video I have told why to use %d for numbers, %f for float. It's all I have told you, right? So just recall that. You have to use fmt. Fmt stands for format. Copy paste the same code, comma, fmt %d. You want to get only the values, right? You don't want to see this in bytes. Okay, now you go back and refresh. See, now you have successfully written an array into your file. This is how you can write an array using NumPy. Okay, next line of code is for your additional knowledge. %4f means after the original value, means here 1 is the original value, 2 is absolute value, right? Afterwards it will give you 4 decimal values like 0 0 0 0 0. That is how I have written. If you give 2 here, it will give 2 decimal values. Run this. If you refresh, see, 1.00, 2 decimal values, right? So this is how it will work. Okay, you can refer to all the functions available inside save txt. Give this document function to read how it will work. See, fmt, delimiter, new line, header, footer, encoding. So this is all you can see inside this function. Okay, so that's all about arrays in NumPy. So if you have any doubts, you can mention in the comment section. I will be happy to reply back to you. We'll see you in the next video about pandas, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get the daily uploads. Okay, thank you, stay safe, bye bye.